Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that news regarding Wuthering Waves, news regarding 3.0, news regarding the Game Awards, it just keeps coming. We've had the leaked gameplay reveals from PlayStation, and now we've got an update from Jeff Keighley and the team over at TGA regarding the Player's Voice Award. And this time, ladies and gentlemen, we've got round 2. And I've got some great updates to share regarding round 2, because we got WuWa alongside some other games vying for that second place spot. And I think it's time for us to have a bit of a discussion about, first, the games that we're seeing on here, Wuthering Waves' overall chances of winning, and of course, how the other side of the equation, the other side of the gacha space, is probably reacting to this. So without further ado, let's just start breaking down everything that we're seeing over here. There are clearly some very, very, very big, heavy hitters in this lineup. You got Expedition 33, one of the most beloved franchises, one of the most beloved games, just an absolute cult classic that I think came out of nowhere and blew the existing turn-based RPG competition out of the water. I don't think anyone's surprised, and I don't think a single person in the world would be upset if Expedition 33 won. Even Wuthering Waves players, because I don't think there's a single WuWa player out there that looks at this game, E33, and then says that it's, like, not good. I don't think anyone can actually say that without being laughed out of the room. If E33 wins, no issues. I think it's an expected result. So don't get too sad about that one. Death Stranding 2. I think Death Stranding 2 is kind of like a very, I'm just gonna be honest, I think it's a niche game. I've seen gameplay of it. I've seen somebody play it. I don't really think it's like a title that a lot of people kind of like buckle down for and are like, oh yeah, this is the best shit ever. But I feel like the people that do like it, they really like it. If it piques your interest, then you're there and you're playing the entire fucking game in a couple of days. But for a game like that, being the player's voice, something that like a majority of individuals or a big group of individuals are pushing for, this might win because that niche audience might be super big, but I'm just generally of the opinion, I don't really know. I'm not like too confident in this one. Dispatch. When I think of Dispatch, I think of a combination of like superheroes and then like telltale animations, right? Like telltale games where you make like choices and stuff. I know a lot of people like it. I know a lot of people have fun with it. Very, very story-based game. Not a huge amount of gameplay. So maybe that'll be enough to carry it through the story. But I think the lack of potential gameplay could be something that makes it fall behind. I haven't played it too much though, so I'm not going to speak too much about something that I'm not like super familiar with. All I know is a lot of people have fun with it. It's interactive storytelling, and you got a lot of different choices that you can make. But yeah, the take always is, what if it was just a movie instead? And that's always something that comes to mind. Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm not going to lie, this one might be an industry plant. I'm not going to have too much commentary about Donkey Kong Bonanza because I have no idea how a franchise like that, I have no idea how a franchise like Donkey Kong is, like, still actually alive. Like, who even plays stuff like that anymore? And now, we got the big item on the agenda. And this is where a majority of our discussion is going to be had, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Genshin Impact. And this is what I think is actually going to be occurring in the Game Awards. This is what I actually think is going to be occurring in the voting. So the way that the voting works is that there's going to be 3 rounds when it comes to the player's choice. We've already gotten past the first round. And now the second round is upon us, and then there's going to be a bunch of people that move on to the third. I'm personally of the opinion that Hoyoverse and Hoyoverse players as a whole are probably going to go absolutely bananas, pun intended. They're going to go absolutely bananas for the opportunity to put Genshin Impact out on top over not just the games that you see over here, but Wuthering Waves specifically. Because this is essentially Hoyoverse's only opportunity to have any representation at all at the Game Awards. Hoyo is a company that has traditionally won Game of the Year. They've been nominated for at least one of the official rewards for pretty much the last 5 or 6 years. This is the first time that the only award that they are eligible for is Player's Choice. Literally, this is the only game and this is the only award. What do you think individuals from this part of the fan base are going to do? What do you legitimately think they're actually going to do? And one thing that I want to show you in advance is something that probably should indicate really clearly, something that should indicate really damn clearly everything that's going to happen. When Hoyoverse leads a community that literally regularly does stuff like this, where they actively just lie and spread literal misinformation about Wuthering Waves whenever they can, knowing that the Game Awards are coming up to try to smear the reputation of the game. They, made a huge deal out of the Senpai situation, right? To try to paint the Kuro devs as, like, degenerates or something like that, and say that the game is, like, you know, one of those, like, Gooter games. Then they intentionally go ahead and put the lowest graphical settings possible on their game, and then talk about how awful the mobile performance looks. Community noted again. And just so you know, when people get community noted, their tweet, even if they're verified, is not eligible to earn any money anymore. So these guys, they're making literally $0. All that's happening is that their name is getting spread around and they're being branded a fucking idiot. They've decided to spend hours of their day, meaningful parts of their lives, just for that to happen to them. Be clowned on, be literally community noted, and then everyone sees how much misinformation you're spreading, and then also continue to damage the reputation of Hoyoverse, because all it looks like is that you're irrationally trying to attack a game for literally no reason. And I forgot the last one on top of that, the whole AI situation that ended up getting picked up by JP. Oh, right, 2 of these situations got picked up by JP. The one on the left, you had a literal politician chime in and ask what the fuck is wrong with these people. And then over here, you had one of JP's biggest news websites, right? You had one of JP's biggest gaming news websites publishing an entire fucking article about these clowns, and then just asking, in a similar vein, what is wrong with these guys? And that's just what it is. It's a constant ask of what these people are not normal, and there is something deeply wrong with them. They're doing all of this for free just to make Genshin Impact look better. What do you think this crowd of individuals is going to do when it comes to voting in these game awards? And this is going to be my overall take regarding the matter. I wouldn't be surprised if WuWa doesn't make it past round 2, and I also wouldn't be surprised at all if WuWa makes it to round 3 but then doesn't win. And the reason for that is quite simple. You have the conjoined efforts of the entire mentally ill Hoyoverse fanbase, the Special Avengers. You have this like concentrated retardation that's going to flow into these polls, that's going to flow into these goddamn rewards, and it's going to be an absolute disaster. I said that this was going to be a disaster, but the reality of the situation is that this, like I said before, this is the last bastion for players like this. If Genshin doesn't end up beating WuWa, if Genshin doesn't make it to round 3 and then WuWa doesn't, what are they going to have left? I genuinely think that these individuals over here will actually begin self-destructing if Genshin doesn't make it past. And that, to me, would be the funniest universe, the funniest alternative reality. Genshin doesn't make it past round 2, because I just want to see what this part of the player base is going to do. This was before the awards. They were making up AI images, running them through checkers, and trying to frame misinformation that Mornier was AI. They did all of this shit before Genshin got eliminated from anything. They did all of this shit just during the nominations. What are they going to do if a game wins? What are they going to do if Genshin loses? The curiosity, the intrigue, the wonder. It's probably gnawing at your guys' soul too. I am just I'm just devilishly curious at this point. And we'll just have to see how the next couple of days play out. The road to December 11th is a lot more fun than we thought. Now, let's start going ahead and taking a look at some of these other titles. And I'm going to be honest over here. Taking a look at some of the other titles, it's rough. Yeah, Ghost of Yote. I know a lot of people, they might have had, like, some concerns with, like, the whole, like, political side of this release, but I heard it's a damn good game. I heard it's a really, really solid game. A lot of people enjoy it. I don't think a lot of people would be necessarily super mad if it won either. Hades 2, same exact thing. Right, it's more like a, you know, top-down action RPG, not like side-scroller, but, you know, like a little bit like Diablo, that sort of thing. Also a good game. Hollow Knight Silksong, great game. It's just a 2D platformer. It's just a different taste, right? I hate 2D platformers. I don't really like roguelikes either. So I don't really like these two sort of games. I know Silksong like isn't really, but it's again, it's a platformer. Not really a fan of those two games. But Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Hell, I played that shit. Hey, all I'm gonna say is, hey, if you haven't played this game, you should try it. Hey, it's immersive AF. And I'm not surprised at all that there is a good crowd of individuals who are, you know, this is like a fan favorite for them, because this game actually does make you feel like you're a medieval peasant. At certain points, you legitimately do feel like a medieval peasant. I think you do actually get covered in shit canonically in the story. I think it happens actually in like the first hour. You get like a bucket of poo dumped on you. So overall, I think the lineup over here, right? It's a lot of solid games. And I would say, in my honest opinion, the worst game on here is probably Genshin Impact. I'm saying this from like a design perspective, a like visual fidelity, animation quality, like polish. Genshin is actually probably the worst game on here. Legitimately, I think all of these other games have like more polish, better models, better animations, all of that shit. Better voice work too. It's all there. And I think Genshin is legitimately the worst. So this is the last bit of like feedback that I think I'll give. Hoyoshills, Genshin Impact fans, you should simply be ecstatic that Genshin managed to make it to round 2. You shouldn't be upset if it gets knocked out. You shouldn't be upset if it gets knocked out in round 2 or it gets knocked out in round 3. Because the game is literally a piece of fucking dog shit. And the fact that it's even in round 2 in the first place is inherently kind of fucking embarrassing. And I feel bad for all of the round 1 nominees that got fucked over because you idiots decided to push up this actual piece of garbage into round 2 because you can't get over the fact that, like, this game replaced your fucking parents during COVID. Jesus Christ, man. We kind of went off on the deep end over there, but that everything I just said was literally the truth. That's gonna be a hard pill to swallow, but the sooner that this stupid player base of this stupid game made by these stupid developers, the sooner that that pill is swallowed by this part of the player base, the better this narrative is going to be. Because it's genuinely just laughable. Just be honest. It's laughable that at any point, you're comparing Genshin to this game. Like, at any point, it's completely an utter joke that they're even in the same conversation. What are we even doing here? In what universe are these two games even in the same competition? It literally is only being propelled up by its massive player base from COVID. Because I don't even know, like, how did this even start? And why is it still even going? It's an absolute joke once you think about it. Just compare them on like a technical and gameplay angle. There's nothing going on here. This is the most empty game. This is the most empty game on the list. Overall, I'm excited for what round 2 holds. And the only thing that I think genuinely should happen, if we really do want, like, what should happen to occur, Genshin Impact gets knocked out, Wuthering Waves hopefully moves up with competition like E33, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, maybe Death Stranding and stuff like that, and then we go into round 3. That would be the best case. But like I said before, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this game goes ahead. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this game wins it. Because these Hoyoshills, they literally don't have anything else left, man. So maybe we should just give them this one. Let me know what you all thought about this breakdown. Peace out.